Hello and welcome, everyone. It's so exciting that you are joining us this evening for our Friday night healing meditation. And Swami Nityananda is joining us and leading us in a satsang tonight. And the focus of the satsang is love beyond limitations. Before she joins us, I'd love to share just a few announcements with you. So we will be continuing to gather on Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook through at least the end of February. And however you joined us this evening, you can continue to join us that way. So if you used a link or called in with a telephone, just please, you may continue to join us in that way. And if for some reason this evening, if you're on Zoom and you lose the video, if you look at your computer's navigation bar, there's a blue icon with a white movie camera. If you click on that, you'll get that Zoom video right back so you can enjoy the rest of the meditation. Also, if you experience any challenges this evening or have a question for the host, if you hover your mouse over the chat icon, you will have an option to send a message to the host that way, and we'll do our best to help you. Later in this evening's meditation, Swami will open us up for a question and answer section. So if you would like to ask a question, you may do so by raising your hand. So you would click on participants, and then there'll be a little icon that says raise your hand, so you can raise your hand that way. Or if you would rather contribute a question anonymously, you may enter that through the chat area as well. So either way, and you'll know when it's time to do that. So at this point, those are all the announcements I have to share, and I would love to welcome our beloved Swami Nityananda.
Good evening. Welcome you all. Blessings, 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 blessings. Heart full of joy and gigantic virtual hugs to you all. So greetings of the light, greetings of grace, greetings of kindness. And I invite you to join me placing your hands in prayer at the heart. Coming consciously into the presence of the eternal. Reminding ourselves of our true nature, our deep gladness, our willingness to be helpful and hopeful right in the midst of our daily tasks, our relationships, our conversations. And I invite you to raise your prayer hands to the space between the eyebrows at the center of the forehead. Consciously inviting yourself to unify the mind and the heart. Lowering your hands in prayer at the heart. Reminding ourselves that the heart and the mind in truth are one. So we are reconnecting them, remembering our own wholeness. With that awareness, that willingness to harmonize the heart and the mind, the Zen teachings call it heart-mind. In Sanskrit, very, very ancient word, Hriday, means both heart and mind. So we're connecting with that vast, capacious, warm awareness. It lives within each of us and with all of existence. With that warm, bright awareness, let us join together in offering the eternal Gayatri mantra. Let us meditate on the glory of that effulgent reality from whom the whole universe is projected. May that radiance enlighten our hearts, minds, and lives. When you're ready, I invite you to connect consciously with your straight spine. And so feel the steadiness at the base of the spine, the connectedness between your earth and your feet, the support that is present beneath our feet, the support that holds us in our seat, our steady, sweet posture of awareness. And then allow energy to spire up the spine from the base of the spine to the midbrain, to the space between the eyebrows at the center of the forehead. I invite you to connect with a feeling of spaciousness within yourself, within your body. Feeling vastness within your own physical form. And vastness in that area of concentration, energy, focus, awareness that is between the eyebrows at the center of the forehead. Consciously connecting with and welcoming clarity and expansiveness. Silently giving permission for the deep, eternal wisdom of light, of love, of kindness, to speak very clearly and directly to each of us as we are able to receive that speech, that awareness, that support. We are at a time, individually and collectively, on this beautiful planet when we are invited to become aware of the old energy patterns we might have been carrying, that we might now be ready to heal and release. Doing so makes room for fresh, new creativity, awesome expansiveness. The ability to live simply and sweetly what is true and kind and glad and of service. And so the opening part of tonight's meditation, let's take about 3 minutes, and there will be a time at the end of that 3 minutes. And this is silently inviting our soul, the deep, wise, aware, good-humored, patient, inspired, inspiring aspect of ourselves, to let us know what old energy patterns am I invited to heal? What old energy patterns am I invited to complete? What old energy patterns am I invited to lovingly bless as they depart, remaining always in the light. And so that's our first opening to the deep awareness, allowing ourselves to receive directly from the divine guidance. The old energy patterns we're healing, releasing, completing, blessing as they return to the light. May my voice emerge from the stillness and be harmonious with the stillness. So next, invite your heart, invite that deep, wise, glad, spacious awareness, that warmth, that knowingness, that beingness, that delight within yourself that is your own soul, connected always with the divine. Invite that brightness within yourself. Joyfully to guide you with clarity and directness in ways that you are able to feel and receive. Where am I being invited to embrace fresh energy? Where am I invited to create? What would my soul love to help me understand and express in ways that are natural to me? Then connect with the truth. For each of us, the light within us is sweet stability and also boundless joy. And so, first, allow this eternal awareness within yourself to reverberate throughout you as you silently acknowledge, I am sweet stability, allowing yourself to connect with the core of the earth, the heart of the earth. And then I am boundless joy. And just allow yourself to feel that the balance between the two connects you perfectly with the ability to be that expansive, infinite, limitless love, always present and available, no matter what the human situation is. And it connects us to the specific time and place we find ourselves, allowing us to be present and aware and responsive and joyful, always supported by the laws of energy, always supported by the divine. Aware that for each of us, we are always co creating with the divine, the reality that becomes our human reality. And then, from another perspective, there never is a separate individual self. There's only the divine flowing and shining and shimmering through everyone and everything. So give permission for this sweet stability and this boundless joy to support you in your body, in your daily life, in your awareness, in the conversations that you have, in your relationships, in the lives that we live. Remembering that each of us is constantly connected to the creative energy that brings the whole universe into view. So we're all contributing to the beautiful panorama of life. And we're asking that the choices we make contributes to the book of life, the book of love, the book of laughter, the book of healing, the book of grace, the book of kindness. So silently, as you feel called to do so, give permission for your soul to continue to speak with you clearly and sweetly and directly. What you're invited to heal, release, complete, bless as it returns to the light. What fresh awareness, expansiveness, creativity, divine gifts you're invited to open and receive and share. Allowing yourselves to be sweet stability and boundless joy. Allowing yourselves to be supported by the laws of energy. by the divine, by the one. Thank God, and God bless us all. So let's offer 3 ohms just to serve as a bridge between the deep meditative opening and then the conversation, which flows from the deep meditative opening. So invite these ohms to sweep through your body and your energy field and to help let go what is perfect, to let go, and to welcome what is perfect, to welcome. With that intention, let us offer 3 ohms. Welcome again. God's grace, God's blessing. You are God's grace and God's blessing in the form of you. Thank you for being that. It's absolutely magnificent. What a wonderful blessing and gift to meditate with you. So I am going to open the conversation part of the satsang right now. So satsang means that we're gathering in the company of truth. So we're sharing the sacred truths of the yogic teachings, the yogic scriptures. We're also sharing the sacred truths of our hearts and of our lives. And so there's an opportunity for incredibly courageous and warm-hearted conversation. So people are invited to share questions, stories, observations. And I think we have received 2 questions previously. So we can start with those unless someone wants to raise their hand. If someone wants to raise their hand, you're extremely welcome to do so. I also wanted to mention the opening meditation. If you are working through any processes of bringing something to completion, or any processes of launching something, that's a meditation that you can return to. It will continue to bless you and help you and support you in that process.
Super. So I'll share this first question with you. My human self is experiencing the challenge of being in a relationship. An aspect of myself maybe I've outgrown or may no longer be a match for me. I love this person, but feel very contracted when in conversation or physical proximity. I'm focused on beauty and what is uplifting. They choose to focus on what is wrong in the world or everyone else and tell me I'm naive for focusing on the beauty when all of these wrongful things are happening in the world. They are not at peace and feel a disconnect in the relationship, and somehow this is my fault too. I feel it is because we are navigating through life from very different places and looking through this different lens. Can living beyond human limitation help bridge this gap? I try to view him as a part of myself that is disconnected momentarily from the truth. He doesn't have a spiritual practice and doesn't seem to want to do anything about his current state except to blame things and people outside of himself. I'm not sure how to care for myself or the relationship other than what I've been doing. Any suggestions?
So that's a really fantastic question, and it's multi-layered. And so I will provide a few entry points that will hopefully be of service to the person asking this question, but also to any human who's ever been in a relationship. And so, one of the things just to observe is that, and this is for everyone, the human self has questions, and the soul aspect of you, the aware, connected, eternal aspect of you, has solutions. And so, one of the things that you can do is turn to your soul, turn to the light within you, and have a really, really honest conversation. That's a really good way for you to connect with the divine. If you are someone who likes to address God, then have a really honest conversation with God. So I'll give the way that the conversation could go. If you do it the first way, it would be turning to the soul within you, turning to the light within you, and saying, awareness within me, divine, eternal clarity within me. My human self feels this way. And I can just imagine, I'm smiling with appreciation. That's probably a very carefully edited question, because I'm imagining that the human self feels all kinds of things. The human self can feel frustrated. The human self can feel impatient. The human self can feel angry. The human self can feel sad. The human self can feel disappointed. The human self can feel frustrated. So whatever it is that the human self is feeling, be honest and turn to the light of awareness within yourself, or turn to God, and just in a very spiritually honest way. And you're right in the question to point out that there's a difference between focusing on the negative and presenting a genuine query to God. So present the genuine query to God and then leave it with God. Present the genuine query to your soul, to your awareness within yourself, and then leave it with yourself. So let it go and say to the divine, say to this eternal awareness within yourself, I know you always have solutions. You always guide me. You always support me in creating happiness harmoniously with the laws of energy, in living with joy and kindness and love in alignment with the divine, in living in helpfulness and hopefulness and kindness in ways that also honor the truth of my heart and the truth of my soul. And if you come to that, and there is sincerity, and you ask your heart, you ask your soul, you ask God, what does the truth of my heart, what does the truth of my soul tell me now? The truth of your heart, the truth of your soul, the truth of God will always guide you. And they will always guide you in ways that are kind, clear, simple, and wise. And so the short answer is yes, absolutely. Loving beyond limits will always help you, always. It helps you if you decide to stay. It helps you if you decide that the laws of energy do not support your staying. And another sort of series of reflections or meditations that any one of us who's in a human relationship of any kind could embark upon is a reflection that goes something like this. I am a powerful creator. I have created this relationship for a reason. What is the gift in this relationship? What is the gift that my soul is giving me through this relationship? Another shorthand that you can use is to say that the eyes of God, the eyes of Guru, if you like that word, the eyes of the energy that leads from darkness to light, they look out at us through every situation in our lives. And so the eyes of God are looking out at you through that relationship, through that person. So, what are the eyes of God looking out at you through that relationship and through that person? What are they saying? Why is it that your soul would have created this? And when you have that clarity, when you recognize that you are a being of limitless light, of boundless love and joy, that created this relationship and this situation for a reason, and your partner is also a being of limitless light and boundless love and joy, who created this situation for a reason as well, then you can heal, you can complete, you can have clarity and peace and resolution within yourself so that there's nothing that you're struggling with, there's nothing that you're fighting with, there's no conflict. There's just clarity and insight and awareness and peace. And that means when you are clarity, insight, awareness, and peace, you're one with infinite love. And so, infinite love, in all of its wisdom and in sweet truth, will speak through you to heal and revivify and put on an amazing forward path the partnership that you're currently in, or to complete it. And either way, it will be done with sweetness, with kindness, with grace, in a way that recognizes and remembers this is a being of light. This is a face of God that is looking at you. And you too are serving as a being of light, a face of God that is greeting the one with whom you are in relationship. And when you have that clarity and awareness, always, 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 you will walk in peace. There can be human pain associated with all of this. It is spiritually honest to acknowledge that. And so, if your life has been interwoven with the life of another, there is human pain in unweaving the lives the way that they have been woven together. And so, it's worth acknowledging that. It's also worth noting two other things, and then I think I'll complete this portion of the answer. If you are a being who comes from unconditional love, you could stay in relationship with anyone, always, forever. And so then that's why it's really important to come back to the truth of your heart and the truth of your soul and what your heart and what your soul are guiding you to do. Because when you tap into limitless love, of course, you could be there forever and you could be inwardly free. You could be inwardly coming from joy. You could be inwardly remembering that your happiness comes from you. It doesn't come from another being. And so this is true for all of us as well. And it's true even for just friends that you might see very occasionally. You will know that sometimes you give very fully and there isn't a responsiveness from the friend that you see. And you'll have clarity within yourself when you're coming from that vast ocean of love. You'll have clarity that it's not always going to be a one-to-one response that you get, but the generosity that you give always comes back to you. Maybe just not from that particular person. And then the other thing is, I included the laws of energy in our meditation and in the response to this answer, because the laws of energy will always direct you. And so just ask, how are the laws of energy guiding you? How are the laws of energy supporting you? What wisdom and what boundless joy and what unconditional love do the laws of energy reveal to you? And what are the concrete practical steps that the laws of energy are inviting you to take? And so that could be everything from sitting down with your friend, your partner, whoever it is, your family member, and just saying, let's talk about individually and together, where do we find joy? Where do we find fulfillment? Where do we find satisfaction? And how can we support one another and the whole that we form together? And if both people, friends, partner, family member, are fully engaged in that process, that will shift the energy and that will create forward movement as well. And I trust the wisdom of your soul. The wisdom of your soul is right there with you. Never for a moment are you not supported by the divine. And that support extends to everyone. That support extends to all. And so, what we're inviting ourselves to do is to connect, not with that feeling of, oh, this doesn't feel like it's working, but connect with that deep wisdom of your soul, which says, everything is grace. Everything is only grace, always. Now, how would we like to create? And then you're free, always, no matter what, no matter where you are. So, a few potential invitations for meditation and for joy for all of us. And God bless, infinite support and love to all humans in all relationships.
Perfect. Thank you, Swami. The next person has a question about what happens after life. So she has two theories. She's wondering if one might continue with the same challenges, or if we might have our tears dried and reside in God's heaven.
Oh, that's a great question. So it's actually, okay, definitely everyone, no matter who they are, and I hope this is comforting, because I know that people are aware that sometimes people seem to die alone, or they seem to die cut off from other humans. No one ever dies alone. No one ever dies cut off. No matter what the circumstances of their death are, they are surrounded constantly, continually by light. And so this is true of everyone, always. So you and everyone always is met by light. And so if you can imagine, do you know the sweet glow of a birthday candle on a birthday cake? And your friends are singing to you, and the warmth and the brightness and the light and the celebration of that candle on that birthday cake is greeting you and celebrating you. So imagine 1,000 birthdays. Imagine that kind of warmth, that kind of light, that kind of welcome, that kind of support. Now, do not be in a hurry to get there. So your time in embodiment is an incredible, precious gift. Enjoy every moment of your time in embodiment, but also let go of any fear whatsoever. Everyone, no matter who they are, is met by light. And so if you can just imagine the warmth and the embrace and the celebration and the joy and the healing and the rest and the relief and the expansiveness, and just allow your heart to open to know you are loved. You are loved, you are loved, you are loved. And so that is what we feel directly, with no boundaries, no barriers, no limits. Total acceptance, total love, total warmth, total welcome. So it is that. And then there is also the opportunity to review the wonderful triumphs and achievements of our human life, and the places where, and so this is why actually these two questions and the answers go really well together. This is why it's really important to remember my soul actually chose the most challenging circumstances I lived through. I know this seems impossible from a human perspective, so I get it. But to have that awareness, my soul actually chose, it knew in advance and it agreed to go through the most challenging human experiences that I have gone through. And then you get to look at it from the outside and say, okay, so where did I manage to bring kindness into humanly impossible situations? And where did I not manage to bring kindness into humanly impossible situations? And so it's like a complete neutrality. It's like you get to meet the laws of energy in relation to your own life and directly see and feel the effects of the choices that you made. And so, where that's delightful and really fun is where you chose kindness and where you chose to love beyond limits and where you chose always to respect and honor the light in everyone and everything. And where it hurts is where we have turned away from the light, where we have not been our true, infinitely patient and good humored and inventive and creative and unconditionally loving selves. And so it's us, like we get to come face to face with ourselves. That's what happens. And so I think the word challenging was used in the question. So it can be challenging, but it's also amazing. And there's complete support. And there's a whole team, whatever your word for it is, teachers, guides, supporters, wise council members, whatever your word for it is, they're with you. And they're actually with you right now. And they've actually been with you all along. So they've been with you while your soul was choosing the challenges. And believe it or not, the worst, most heinous, painful things you've gone through, your counsel has been there right with you the whole time. And so they're there. They're standing with you in support as you look at the humanly impossible situations and whether you chose unconditional joy and love. And then, so after you've gone through that process, there's rest, there's healing, there's joy, there's further training. And then at a certain point, I don't know if you're one of those people, I know many humans, after about 2 weeks of quiet, they're rubbing their hands and they're like, okay, what's next? Okay. So when the soul within you is sparking with adventure and ideas and says, okay, I'm ready for another journey. I'm ready to be of service. I'm ready to explore. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to expand. Then you get to choose and you get to select in consultation with your team, your guides, your teachers, your counsel, your soul, your heart, what the adventure will be for next time. And so it's kind of both. I would de-emphasize the challenge aspect of it because that makes it sound scary. It's not scary. It's all about your soul's delight in continuing to learn and continuing to create and continuing to love. And so your soul is like, okay, I lived that life and it was amazing. Now, what's another life I can live? Like, I haven't grown up in a fishing shack. I haven't learned to read by reading the newsprint on the walls of my fishing shack. That would be an amazing adventure. And so it's this continual spark of exploration and delight and wonder and awe and magnificence. So, not scary, joy, wonder, awe, and of course, exactly as much rest as you need. The best rest imaginable. and don't be in a hurry to get there. Enjoy every moment of your time and embodiment. Another fabulous question, and I love, love, love how the two kind of wove together. They really are key human questions. So thank you to both of the questioners. And I think we actually might be at time for this portion.
So thank you, Swami. And Swami will be joining us in just a moment to share her final thoughts and prayers with us. And at this time, we bring to you our loving appeal for your generous gift to our meditation community. On the screen in just a moment, you'll see instructions for offering a gift to Awake Yoga Meditation and also offering a gift to our beloved Swami. She gives her whole self to our community, and this is one way that we can show our deep appreciation for the gift that she is to us. So if you're joining us by phone, YouTube, or Facebook, you may visit awakeyogameditation.org, and up in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little link that says Give. So we're going to take about 3 minutes to allow time for all who wish to offer a gift to be able to do so. And the music we'll be sharing this evening was selected by our community organist, Beverly, and it is Claire de Lune by Claude Debussy. If you need help finding your way back to the Zoom video, click on the blue icon with the white movie camera, which is in your computer navigation bar. So thank you so very much. Enjoy.
God bless you all. I invite you to join with me offering the prayer of thanksgiving and devotion. And as you do so, let the energy and the grace of this prayer wash over you. So this is a prayer that activates spiritual blessings. I invite you to open your heart to receive. Heavenly Father, Mother God, may thy love shine forever on the sanctuary of my devotion. And may I be so permeated with thy love that whoever comes into my presence feels upliftment of consciousness and brightness of heart. We thank thee for the outpouring of thy grace. Amen. I invite you to join with me in offering the Lord's Prayer, allowing the energy of pure prayer to sweep through you, to bring clarity, to bring awareness, to bring freshness as on creation day. With that intention, let us pray. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And let us not enter into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. In conclusion, I invite you to join with me visualizing an altar of light in front of ourselves. On the altar of light, place any old energy patterns you are ready to dissolve back into the light. On the altar of light, place anywhere you have been holding on to limitation. On the altar of light, place your willingness to be made new, to be filled with fresh awareness, delight, sweet steadiness, boundless joy, creating with limitless love, kindly and wisely, supported by the laws of energy, supported by the divine, this day and all the days of our lives. Thank God, and God bless us all.